Shocking.
Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1.
Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, Hardy Friday. It's a golf Friday. Welcome to the JP Peterson Show. We got a great show for you coming up. We are live. We are live on remote. I love this. I love being out amongst the people. These are my people. They're golfers. I was playing out here yesterday in the Pro-Am. I got stories, but you don't want to hear my golf stories. They're funny.
No, everybody wants to hear your golf stories.
Nah, well, sort of.
How many double bogeys did you have?
Oh, we're not telling those stories. We're not. There were lots of those.
Come on.
No, but I think I had 7 net birdies.
Nice.
Yesterday. No naturals, just net
Okay.
birdies. But that
It's all
helped
right.
the team.
It's all
That
right.
helped the team. So yeah, we had a good time. That good time was had by all. That's all that's important. Good
All
morning
matters.
to you, Tim Ham, IndyCar Tim. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, JP. I'm doing well. A little bit late coming into the show, but I'm here.
Yes,
I'm here
you
now,
were.
and
Yes,
we're
you
good.
were.
We're
Maybe
good.
your stories are probably better than mine from last night. Maybe we'll get into that a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. Had a good night. Had a really good night last night. I'm not going to lie.
Well,
My bed's not made. My bed is made every morning, JP.
your
My
bet is
bed's not made
you
this
tell-
morning.
The stories we don't tell. Or the stories we do tell. We shall see.
Sometimes.
All right, we got lots of other shenanigans to get into here today, guys. So we're going to have a good time. Howdy. We got some guests coming on. Jane Geddes is going to join us. Always fun to talk to Jane, 1987 U.S. Open winner. Lots of things. 86. Thank you, Ashley. Ashley is producing on spot. We'll get her in the show.
Oh,
right?
she's your on-site producer today.
Yes,
Awesome. Great.
You'd much rather see her than me anyway. So she'll make an appearance. I've given her some assignments for some TMZ stories. She's got a great story on Kansas City Chiefs fans having to get their fingers amputated because of frostbite. I warned them about this.
You did.
Like you canceled the game in Buffalo or delayed it. Why? And that was for snow. And I understand people couldn't get to the stadium. That was the right thing to do. But how do you not cancel a game where you're going to put people out in 0-degree weather? Was it minus 12 wind chill in for 4 hours or longer? I mean, that's dangerous.
Okay, I have thoughts on this, JP.
Okay. Now, personal responsibility comes into it. Yes, no doubt.
The personal responsibility comes into it. Wear freaking gloves. Wear gloves to the stadium if you know it's going to be frigid.
Well, some
Okay,
of these people,
just
I think,
freaking
got
wear
frostbite
gloves.
without gloves. Yeah.
No, these people that are dealing with frostbite from the Miami Dolphins Kansas City Chiefs game, they were not wearing gloves. They were not dressed properly. You know, and I
Okay.
hate that people
All
are
right.
dealing with this. I hate that people are
then
dealing with
that's
this.
on them.
It's
That's
not
on them.
fun, but for the love of God, wear gloves. All right,
Yes,
that's all I'm
it's
going to say.
zero. It's
Yeah.
zero. It's
Yeah.
0 degrees.
Yeah.
Wear freaking gloves. No, I'm
Yeah.
with you on that. I'm with you on that 100%. All right, so we'll get into that. We got a lot more other things to get into. Mike Evans is going to have his press conference today. Your Texas A&M fave,
Gig 'em.
greatest player to ever come out of Texas A&M. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody. Some Aggie, some back
Johnny
in the day
Manziel.
Aggie. Again, greatest player to ever come out of Texas A&M.
Greatest pro.
I meant football player, not playa.
Okay.
player.
Quentin Coriat.
Nice linebacker, but no.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, Mike Evans is the greatest
Probably
player
Mike Evans.
in
Yeah.
Texas A&M football history.
Yeah.
So he will hopefully retire as a Buccaneer with this final contract. So he will step to the mic at noon as soon as we get off here. So you'll be able to find that on your Buccaneers channels. But other stuff going on. Jordan Whitehead, former Buccaneers safety, doing some stuff on Instagram that may suggest he's coming back to the Bucs. So we'll talk a lot of Buccaneers in the first part of this story. We got some college football news to get to today. And, of course, last night's Lightning game. You got my post-game show notes right here.
They're probably long notes, aren't they?
A lot of scrooch. Look at this.
A lot of
got-
scribbles.
It's got my live reads on there that I have.
It
to
does.
do. Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that.
And then
Pulling the
there's-
curtain back.
There's like Ashley, could you read any of that? No.
Nope.
It's
She's like, nope.
secret code for only the host needs. Well, listen, when you're working with Brian Engblom, I do a little like 15, 20-second intro. He's kind of setting up the game. And then I toss it over to Brian. Then I go get a beer, sandwich, restroom break, come back, order. And then he'll be wrapping up. So, which is great.
By the way, Brian Engblom, the consummate professional.
Yes.
And his national work is highly underrated.
Acclaimed. Yeah.
Yes, but it's underrated. It's underrated.
I agree. I'm telling you, I've done a post-game show every home game with him. And every time I do a game with him, I learn more about hockey. I learn more about hockey, and I learn more about the Lightning. And he is a savant when it comes to talking hockey. He's an absolute savant and knows the game so well and knows the Lightning so well. Yes, a long, distinguished career at NBC. Fantastic. You know,
by the way, I miss the old days, I guess, when ESPN was broadcasting. Well, they're doing it again now, but back in the old days, JP, when Brian Engblom and Gary Thorne were doing games on ESPN.
Yeah.
I miss Gary Thorne doing play-by-play, NHL play-by-play.
Don't we all? Yeah.
God almighty.
Yeah, he was fantastic. And the two of them, and and the thing is, in this week's edition of the Martini Mondays podcast, which you can hear on the Strike 102.5, where you hear this live every day from 10 to 12, and also on the Lightning app. Great podcast, by the way. You got to download Martini Mondays. They were talking with Rick Peckham about, old school broadcasting when, they used to talk about hockey.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, now these old school broadcasters, they want the new school guys, the spit and chicklets, and not that that's bad. Love those guys. But it's like everything else. It has to be, now we got to spoon feed it to the masses. We have to talk about, who's dating whom, and all the salacious stuff off the, whatever. And that's where the game is going, right? I get it, but I miss the guys like Brian and Gary Thorne, the great voices of hockey. And that really, on the national level, obviously we're lucky to have the Brian doing all the games for us on Bally.
Bill Clement. Whatever happened to Bill Clement?
Bill Clement. What a stash, man.
And
What
Darren
a
Pang.
stash. Darren Pang.
Yeah.
Darren Pang.
Yeah.
That was the soundtrack of hockey.
Yeah.
And the other guy, Doc Emmerich.
Emmerich.
I mean, that is the soundtrack he is the Keith Jackson of hockey. And
100% for sure.
I mean, I wasn't ready to go off on this tangent, but his pacing and his style of calling a hockey game is just the gold standard.
Yeah.
It's the gold standard. And it's different. It's unique. The voice is unique. And just so good. It's so good. Anyway, so I missed that, but I'm on the national level, but so blessed to have him as my post-game partner. And fantastic. So last night was a debacle for the Lightning. I wrote down the key words from the John Cooper press conference, which we might be able to play a little bit later on. We're going to have a lot of guests stopping by. Embarrassing was one of the words. He said, we came out, we had 4 days off, we have a big crowd. Everybody's expecting to get the best effort of the Lightning. They're in the playoff push. Every point is absolutely critical. You would expect a great energized effort. We did just the opposite. He said, what was the other? It was inexcusable. The effort was inexcusable. Somebody asked about the poor execution. He said the execution was horrible, but our decision-making was worse. A very John McKay-esque.
Yes.
And he was right. He talked for 1:51 seconds, and he was pissed, as he should be.
Yeah.
And, and I kind of, I said to Brian, I basically said that before we heard the Cooper press conference. And he's like, it's hard to sugarcoat it any other way than that. It just is. Yeah. And when you play a game in that situation, you got to be better than that. And the Flames have traded away 5 players. I think 5 players. Tanev, just gutted their team.
It's here in
and
Dallas
they came
now.
out. Yeah. They came out and just, outclassed you. The Lightning had one shot They got their first shot 14 minutes into the game. They're being outshot 6-0, 14 minutes into the game. I mean, that's embarrassing. That's inexcusable. That's awful. That's awful in that situation. And it gives you, it gives you pause. It's like, is this team even going to make the playoffs? Because you're now with the standings and the games in hand. Washington can, if they win their next couple of games, will catch them. The Islanders will catch them. It's just, it's going to be a dogfight. And you got to, this time of year, you got to play 70, 80% hockey to stay where you're at and make the playoffs. And they are showing no signs of that. And that's after they played Montreal, Buffalo, and these teams. Ottawa was in there as well, and Calgary, teams that are out of the playoff hunt that are giving up, and you're losing to those teams. They're 1-4-1 in their last 6 at home. That's just it's not doable. It's just not doable.
JP, I think Rick has it right here when he says you only need 2 words on your show sheet. They suck.
Right there.
They're right there.
In the bottom. Yeah.
No, it's a bad look, man. It's a bad look for the Lightning. It's a bad look for the team. They're already in the playoffs. Every game they play right now is a playoff game. We've talked about it ad nauseum for the last couple of weeks, and to go out and put out a showing like that, man, it's just it's not very hopeful for the playoffs. It's not at all.
So they've got to turn it around. They got the Flyers coming in Saturday night. John Tortorella's bunch. We just beat the Panthers last night 2-1. We lost to the Panthers at home 9-2. In case you don't remember that, a couple weeks ago. And this is not to say that the Lightning don't have a chance. I mean, we've covered this team in the John Cooper era, and we know one thing about this team: they play their best hockey when their backs are against the wall. And I think this pretty much qualifies. It's pretty much qualifies. And they play their best hockey against the better teams. They always get up for better teams. And then the overarching thing here is Vasilevsky. He's still coming back from the back injury. There were a couple goals last night that were very un-Vassy-like. And so it's just, you expect him to continue to get better. Unless there's a re-injury, which there's no sign of that. This is just reasonable to expect when you come back from a major back surgery, that it's going to take a while to return to being the greatest goaltender on the planet. It takes some time. So that's just reasonable to expect. Now, can he continue to get better? I mean, he started not so good, then found his stride, and then now we hit a little bit of a lull. And this is not to put it all on Vassy. That is not what I'm doing. The coverage last night, the defensive coverage last night was awful. 2-on-0s, 3-on-1s. I mean, it was terrible. It's terrible. That's the number one reason they scored 6 goals last night. That's the number one reason. Vassy made some great saves just to keep them in the game. So I'm not putting this on Vassy. I'm just, as we've said many times before, the Lightning are an above-average team. When they have the elite goaltender and Vassy playing at that level, they win Stanley Cups. That's the formula. That's the formula. And when he's not, they're an above-average team. They're above average team where they are right now in the standings. That's who they are. Now the Cup teams were better, way better than I won't say way better than this team, but better than this team, obviously, as a whole. Now they go out and get Anthony Duclair from the Sharks, a 2020 All-Star, who had Achilles surgery but came back from that, played very well for the Panthers in the playoffs. So he's recovered from that. Super fast, 28 years old. He's 5'8", 6 foot. 200 pounds. He's a rock, and he's a rock and a rocket. He's tough. He's kind of a middle 6 forward there that can score. He's got 16 goals, 5 on the power play. He won't play on the first power play, but might play on the second power play. They could mix him in there. They get him for a 3rd round pick and defenseman Jack Thompson's, which isn't a huge. You didn't have to give up a lot to get a really, really quality player and who can bring some fire. Can bring some fire to this team, and that's what this team needs. It needs some fire. It needs some emotion, and that's what I expected Brisebois to make a move in that area. So Anthony Duclair is that kind of guy. You know who he is. Your thoughts?
No, man, he is a stand-up defenseman. He's going to be a badass wherever he is.
He's a forward.
Or I'm sorry, forward. He is a badass forward. He's going to stand up wherever he is. And the light, you've been saying it for a couple of weeks.
Timmy froze. Just not good for the show.
The changes are coming, or they needed to come. He did.
Yeah.
Like it's good. Declare's a good player, man. He's a great player. But if this is really all that they have, all that they did, I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough, JP.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. And it just might not be their year. And they've got to, and I'm kind of glad they didn't sell the farm to try to stock up for this year, because it just may not be their year.
Right.
And you don't want to give away an Isaac Howard or any of your really, really good up and coming players, because you're going to need them. And Brisebois knows that. So this is what they have. I don't expect anything else to happen. And let's go. Listen, you got to say to yourself, we got a championship pedigree here. That matters in the playoffs. These guys know how to play and win in the playoffs. You got to get there I'm more worried about getting to the playoffs than who we're going to play in the first round and can we beat them. Because I think the Lightning will show up in the playoffs. Nobody wants to play the Tampa Bay Lightning, especially if Vasi gets into form. He can beat you by himself. So nobody wants to play them when they get to the playoffs. Just get there, get in, and we'll go from there. That's what's most important.
And I agree with that usually, like every year, right? Like just get into the tournament. That's all any team in any sport needs to do. That's the goal. Get in the tournament. But man, the way the Lightning are playing right now, it just doesn't give you a lot of hope. I'm just saying. By the way, we have post game reactions here from last night's game. Whenever you want to play it.
Just you know what? Just fast forward it to the Cooper part. Fast forward it to the Cooper. Can you do that? Because the guys, if you can.
I think so. Yeah, right. I think we're here. Let's try it. You ready?
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Well, it's I don't know. The word would probably be a little bit more than embarrassing. Is what it was. I mean, we haven't played since last Saturday. They had to time away from the rink, time together, a couple practices. You couldn't have laid it out more perfect for them to come out and put a great show on for the fans, and they did the complete opposite.
Is it just more of an effort thing, or the execution? Because the execution was off of the 4 days, or?
Well, the execution was horrendous, but the decision making was probably even worse than that.
I think that pretty much tells the story right there. Did he freeze? Oh, we love the internet.
That was a tough one. And, in saying all this, I thought Calgary was excellent. It doesn't matter who we were going to play. It was the product they put on the ice tonight for our fans was it's kind of inexcusable.
You made the trade in game to pick up Anthony Duclair. Any thoughts?
I'd rather talk about the game tonight.
Connor Sherry has had a tough year. I know it comes in a loss, but he finally. Puts one in the back of my head, with 2 points. Can that help a player like that?
I hope so.
All right, I'm getting a little bit of Tim. I don't know if you're hearing this or not. Getting a little bit of Wi-Fi lag here. All right, Timmy, you there? We're having a couple Wi-Fi issues here. We apologize.
Wi-Fi issues. I don't know what's going on right now.
Is that your end or my end? Not sure.
I'm not really sure. I think it's my end, actually. To be honest, we were having some work done here in the neighborhood on the fiber optic. But I'll tell you one thing. I just heard, JP, that I don't know if you picked up on it with John Cooper's press conference there after the game. We've been watching a lot of his post game stuff here throughout the season, And I think this is the first time that I heard him say they didn't execute. They didn't get it done. They didn't play well. Before, it's always been we. We didn't play well. We didn't execute. We couldn't get it done.
Interesting.
And I think this is the first time I've heard him say use they. They couldn't get it done. And that, that's tells you a little bit right there.
He's divorcing himself from what
a little bit, man.
And I say
a
that
little
in
bit.
jest. I say that in jest, obviously. I want to bring in our first guest, John Renaud. Come on over here, John. Welcome in, John Renaud. We'll give him a hand. Yes, the director of golf here at Feather Sound. Just come on in here. We'll put this on the all microphone. There we go. How are you, my friend?
Good. How are you, sir?
Good. What a setup you guys have here. There we go.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys coming out. This
beautiful. I played yesterday, and come up on the microphone just a little bit more. I'll share it over here. Played yesterday. I'm just blown away what you guys have done here. I played here for many, many years. When was the renovation? 2 years ago?
Yeah, it was April of 21, and we reopened again in July 22.
Wow, just amazing what you've done. Not only just the shape of the golf course, the fairways are as good as I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I've been to Augusta a few times. I'm not going to go there, but
we're close.
It's unbelievable, and the greens are rolling tremendously well.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
About 11 and a half or so right now, but we put Bimini Bermuda in the fairways and Tiff Eagle on our greens, and being less than 2 years old, this course is in amazing shape right now. It's only going to get better as time goes on.
My pro that we played with yesterday, Maha Hadoui from Monaco, she's been on the tour for 15 years, and she said this is as great a golf course in terms of condition that she's ever played on that tour.
We appreciate that. During the remodel, we had visions of trying to keep in mind maybe someday hosting a nice event like this and others. So it's nice that less than 2 years later we're doing this with the Ramco Team Series. It's very exciting for
how did this come up? I mean, this is the Ladies European Tour, and also Lexi Thompson is here. You saw her on the match the other night with Rory and the gang over there. So she's as big a name as there is in women's golf. Brittany Lincecum, two-time major championship winner. Some of the biggest names in golf are over here. This is a great get.
This is a real big deal for us. And for the Tampa Bay area as well. As you know, it's a big sports area. And it's supported by a lot of fans. During the remodel, the word started to get out, and we had meetings with multiple tours that started to look for coming back into the Tampa Bay area. So this
really
kind of sprung off of one of those discussions. But really, we signed a deal less than 2 months ago.
It happened fast. It happened really
fast. It's amazing what the whole team did to get ready for today.
Well, they could have selected any golf course in America. I know they wanted to do one over here.
Yes.
So you have to be absolutely over the moon that they selected you guys. How did it all come together?
Yeah, well, once we sat down with the meeting and they were looking to plant a seed in the Tampa area, they drove the golf course, and just like you said, because this is not, we only had 6 weeks to get ready. We have this golf course like this all the time. So when they drove it, they were immediately like, okay, we could do this, because it's not like we have to get ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
So they were just as excited as we were, and we said yes. They said yes, and that was it. The owner, this was his vision as well, and Feather Sound Country Club can't be more proud to host an event.
Well, as a trained journalist, I heard what you just said. There are other tours,
yes,
and I can count them on one hand.
Yes.
And I know we used to have a Champions Tour event here that we don't have anymore.
Yes.
So by my detective work here,
you may be somewhat correct, right? But
how awesome would it be to get a Champions Tour event? Not diminishing this at all. This is fantastic.
I mean, absolutely. But when those discussions were happening, we weren't ready.
Right.
We still had a long ways to go, and we're still making continuous improvements. We got a bunker project coming up, adding another 20-30 to tighten things up a little bit, right? And fairways. So
I don't do that
in the clubhouse.
Sorry, you know how many fairways I hit yesterday, John?
I
think I hit 12 fairways yesterday.
That's pretty good.
Which is 12 more than I normally hit.
That's great.
Yeah. Well, I'm a member of Palmacia.
Yes.
So our fairways are as wide as this aisle right here. I mean, I literally looked at my friend Brian Pasula. I play with at Palmacia all the time. It was the par 5 on, I forget which one.
14 maybe.
14.
Yeah. That was a big change.
Yeah, which I hit into, which
great.
is nice. No, it was on the front side. the really wide fairway, and I said, "This is as big. This is half as big as our entire back nine at Palm City." Six.
Yes. hole
Six. What a gorgeous hole.
That used to be, before the remodel, that was one of our signature holes.
Yeah.
And then 14, that we moved that green 75, 80 yards to the left.
Fantastic.
With the creek in front of it. So that
Beautiful.
That's our new signature.
That was when I first came up on that hole when I was playing with Ward Clayton in the media event. I was like, wait a minute. I actually told him, I said, the green's off to the right.
I know, but it's not.
And I came up and said, oh, I'm sorry.
I know.
I'm sorry. But he hit it the right way anyway because he doesn't follow directions. So, I looked at the new green complex. I'm like, yes. And now I didn't know there was water in front, so I went for the green anyway.
Right,
Had I known, I'd have hit it in the water. But I didn't know. So
and that helps sometimes.
It does help.
The next time, now you know.
Mental men just like me, it definitely helps for sure. But you've done a beautiful job, and to be, for you to be here and see this event out here.
Yeah, I mean,
what does it mean for you and the membership here?
I mean, Feather Sound, like I said, can't be more excited. The members, when they come to play the last 4 or 5 weeks and they see grandstands being built, they feel special. They know that their club that they belong to is on the map. We always knew that Feather Sound was a hidden gem. I've been here 18 years. Our superintendent, Mike Struby, together, and him and I have been here almost 30 years. I've been one capacity or another, right?
Yeah.
And so all of our thoughts and our planning and the hard work and all these things are coming together.
Yes.
So we're ecstatic.
Yeah. Well, it's fantastic. And I don't, is this coming back? Is this a one-off?
We don't know. We don't know.
We don't know. Okay.
They're planting the seed in Florida. So far, everybody seems to be very happy.
Yeah.
Including us and them. So it could be.
Yeah.
It's possible.
And if not, maybe a Champions Tour event returns to the Tampa Bay area.
Once they see how this shows on TV and how the course plays, I'm sure that we will be hosting something.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. So for the local folks here who are interested in a membership, I'd heard you guys filled up pretty quick when you came out. Is there still options available?
There might be a few spots left for sure, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you want to go to our website at Feather Sound, FSCC.com. There's a tab there to get our membership director, Tabitha Brown. You can email me myself, and I can always get with her. I can answer any questions anybody has. But we've changed the culture.
Yes.
Once we reopened, we changed the culture here, looking for that certain member, and we're pretty close to being there. So anybody who's come on the golf course, besides having a championship 18-hole track, the practice facilities.
Oh, it's
the
incredible.
First thing they mentioned, we have over 16,000 square foot putting green, a double-sided driving range, 330 yards with its own short game area. And besides that, the guests who come in, our service levels, that's the first thing they say after the golf course, right? We made sure that if you're a member or a guest, you're going to get touched by the time you come in the parking lot and then the time you leave and everywhere you go, because we want that kind of club. Changing the culture with service. So not only you're getting a great golf course, great practice facilities, but you're getting serviced everywhere.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. So what are you looking forward to this weekend?
I'm looking forward to seeing how these girls play, and it's a National Women's Day today. So
that's right.
Just a reminder that if you want to come out and watch today, all women get in for free today. So come out and watch. And, the one thing I used to when I was trying to play full time, I would go watch the ladies event because their swings are so smooth.
Right? Go watch them on the range, man. I mean, plop yourself down there and just watch those golf swings. Yes, and you can't. I mean, like I said, I just felt like my swing got better watching them because I will just sit there and on my playing partner, the tempo of the swing. And to me, that's a huge thing for anybody's golf swing.
Anybody's golf swing.
But just the tempo of the golf swing, and you realize you don't have to go at it like an animal.
No,
just take a nice smooth swing, and it'll even go farther.
100%. And you could be up close and personal here.
Yes,
they have the ropes nice and tight. So this is really, if you want to have a cool and great golfing experience, the ladies, men, kids, it's fun for everybody.
And I think her name was Haley Lindner, who won the women's long drive yesterday.
Yes, I believe so.
Did you get a distance on that thing?
I didn't get a distance. I haven't seen a bit of TV for the.
Well, I asked her at lunch. I said, "How far do you think you hit that?" She said, "Oh, I think it was like 290." I'm like, "No, you didn't," because I hit mine, and and she was only about 10 yards short of the male winner.
There are a couple.
I think she hit like 330.
There are a couple of ladies that out here
Yeah.
You know, and before this bunker project, if they're driving it well, they're going to have a decent chance to go low. I mean, they're hitting it good.
Yeah,
And
and the greens are
far
just
these days.
perfect to
Smooth.
make putts.
Very smooth.
Don't want to be above the hole.
Never.
Don't want to be above the
Never
hole.
want to be above the hole. And today was a little moist out there, so I see some scores already.
What do we got?
Two, 3 under. Last I checked, after 4 holes, you know, the moisture makes everything a little softer, but the wind's going to start to pick up a little bit. And if that happens, we can dry it out.
Yeah.
The greens get just a little faster, right?
All right, so very unique format because you've got an amateur in every foursome,
Yes, sir.
and they're like their score counts,
Yes, they do.
which is bananas for amateurs.
Yes.
So how many guys whiffed on the first tee? Have you seen?
I haven't seen anybody whiff, but a couple off shots for sure. I mean, I remember doing an amateur event in Phoenix, and there were a couple amateurs having a hard time even teeing the ball, keeping the ball on the
Because
tee. Right?
there's a gallery.
Yeah.
He's not used to this.
There could come a time where they have a putt on 18 that matters.
Yeah.
Right. And,
Yeah.
And they haven't been in this situation on live TV with pros. But for the pros, it's fun to watch too.
Oh, I'm sure they're laughing.
Yeah.
I'm sure Maha was laughing at us yesterday because we hit it, 20 feet past the hole. It's it's going to be fun to
It's
watch
a
that
unique
part
format.
of it. Yeah.
Not only the amateurs look forward to it, but I talked to a lot of the pros, and they're excited about the format as well. It's different.
They were lying.
It's different.
They were lying.
They sounded like they were.
No, they genuinely do. And I think they like part of it because I think they see how nervous they are and the fun, and they're very helpful.
And they get it.
Yeah.
I mean, even as a pro, they go through the same.
Oh yeah,
The same feelings that the amateurs do. They just know how to deal with it a little better.
little different level.
Yeah.
I know you got a lot of notes there. Do we miss anything?
No,
Anything
I
else you
think
want to
we're
get out
good.
there?
I was just going to say the Performance 54 group and the Ladies European Tour with our staff. I mean, at Feather Sound Country Club, they've done an amazing job putting this together.
Yeah, they have.
I just got to thank those guys too, because everybody's working around the clock right now.
Yeah.
And here it is, and everything's running super smooth.
To get it the way they've gotten it in that such a short a time is a miracle.
It is.
It's a miracle.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Thank you
John.
very
John
much.
Bernard, Director of Golf
Thank you
here
very much.
at Feather Sound. Did you have an email? What's your at? Feathersound.com?
Yeah, FSCC.com.
FSCC.com. You want to get a membership? Come on out here. I highly
Or you want to
recommend
learn
it.
how to play golf for 15 minutes.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, get lessons from the best
Yes,
right here.
sir. All right.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
I'll be hitting you up for a short game lesson.
all right, very good.
Very
You'll be the guy that can tell everybody how good you got.
Okay. I don't think you want to have your reputation landing on me, but
I'll do it.
okay.
All right.
You don't know what time you're biting off maybe more than you could chew, Johnny. The yips I got right now. Thank you, buddy. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. We'll get a little Bucks news going and some Buck talk as Mike Evans is going to meet the media today. I can't wait to hear what he says about his contract and the way this whole thing went down. And I'm guessing he'll get a couple questions about that guy who throws him the ball too.
At least one or two, right?
At least one or
yeah.
two. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe, hey, who knows? Maybe Baker will show up there and say, yeah, and they'll announce his deal as well.
That'd be great.
Could happen. It could happen. All right, we're live out here at the Aramco Team Series event, Ladies European Tour. We got Lexi Thompson, Brittany Lincecum, huge field out here. Come on out. It's National Women's Day, International Women's Day. Women get in free, girls get in free. So come on out. The place, it looks awesome. The weather's great here at Feather Sound Country Club. Back in 3. Stay with us. JP here from my friends at your local Synovus Bank, and I do mean friends, and I do mean local. One of the local managers in Tampa is John Acosta, big fan of the show, and I've known him for over 40 years. He's been in local banking since 1983. You talk about developing relationships. You don't stick around for that long unless you're doing things the right way and have a great reputation, and that's the focus company-wide at Synovus. Big enough to handle any complex international transaction, but small enough to answer the phone when you have an urgent question about your business or personal account. And for personal accounts, they have a very easy app that works great. You can do everything online. And for large or small businesses, you will get that personal touch and services to help build your business, taking your dreams and aspirations from the whiteboard to reality. We can make that happen. Let us show you how. For a get-acquainted meeting to open a business or personal account, just call John or go to Synovus.com to find out where your local branch is. Everyone knows Italiano Insurance is your go-to for home insurance, but they also have an amazing team that focuses on business insurance. Yes, your business is most likely your biggest asset, so make sure you have the right coverage at the most competitive price. And if you started a side hustle recently, don't forget you need business insurance, because if you get sued in this over litigious society we live in, you could lose all your personal wealth. So get that business insurance. And for the best customer service, always choose Italiano. My representative Charity is amazing. I called her late on a Friday because my insurance was going to lapse. She stayed late until the job was done. You just don't find that anymore. Give them a call, 813-877-7799. That's 813-877-7799. Italiano Insurance. JP here for the Geddes Gordon Real Estate Group and our good friend Jane Geddes. Folks, simply put, there is nobody like Jane. Jane is a former LPGA two-time major championship winner. She was also vice president of talent relations at WWE. She also has a law degree from Stetson. So if Jane can drain a 10-footer to win the U.S. Open and stare down Hulk Hogan in the boardroom, you want Jane on your real estate team to not only negotiate the best deal, but find you the perfect home or investment property. And when you work with the Geddes Gordon Group, you become part of the real estate family and get concierge services that include expertly staging, marketing, and preparing your home for sale. Advice on golf properties. Hey, you might even get some golf tips. Many of their clients become friends long after the sale or purchase is completed. It's all part of the deal. So if you're looking for that perfect home or investment property or trying to get top dollar for your home, go with Jane Geddes and the Geddes Gordon Group, because there's nobody like Jane. Call 813-485-6808 or go to geddesgordon.kw.com. That's GEDDES Gordon.kw.com. or call 813-485-6808.
Let's See Thompson headlines as the Aramco Team Series presented by PIF comes to town. Featherstown Country Club plays host this March 8th through 10th as the best in women's golf compete for a $1 million prize fund. Secure your place now at AramcoTeamSeriesUSA.tixr.com.
Let's go. Right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. We're coming to you live from Featherstown Golf and Country Club here in beautiful Clearwater, Florida. Actually, we call this the Feather Sound area. It's a beautiful day for golf. Come on out and join us here. We're brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com. We are local, we are aggressive, and we will get results. That's
So Clearwater is the home of the very first Hooters, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
You are absolutely 1,000%.
Is it still there?
Yes, it is. The original Hooters is still there. Absolutely. Yes, Ed Drosky and the whole Bob Passwaters and the whole team over there still kicking, doing a great job. I'm waiting for my VIP card, Mr. Sylvester, by the way.
Of course.
Let's make sure we get that.
I mean, I'll take one too while we're at it.
Yeah. Well, we used to get 50% off the whole bill. Then it was,
wow,
maximum $50. Now it's but grateful to everything we get.
Yep.
And they have been absolute wonderful stalwart, great community people here in the Clearwater area, and a fixture. I remember we actually I remember when I was in college in the early 80s up at Florida State, there was these rumors, hey, have you been to the Hooters in Tampa? And we're like, Hooters in Tampa? Like, what is it? Oh, the girls walk around in these little orange shorts. And I'm like, Ashley went to the bathroom. So
okay, here we go.
She is a veteran of who she worked at Hooters for 4 years. Yeah.
Sure.
So the original Hooters right over there. And then we had the one on, there she goes, right behind me. There she is.
Hey, tell her I need some wings and a beer.
Come on over. This will be your part of the show here. No, well, we're asking you questions. Jump on in.
I need some wings and a beer.
Well, you can't hear Timmy.
No.
But he just asked me, since we're in Clearwater, he said, is the original Hooters still in Clearwater? I said, absolutely, yeah. And I said, I may know a girl that she didn't work there, but she has worn the orange shorts. And
I have the orange shorts.
And wears them well, by the way. Looks great in them.
Probably better now than I did back then.
I would say.
Yeah.
I would say. So, yeah.
The original Hooters in Clearwater is going to be a historical landmark.
Do we have to go there for lunch just so you can,
I do love the buffalo shrimp.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't love the buffalo shrimp? Yeah. So what was it? What was the experience like?
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
I made some of the best friends of my life there.
See,
I'm
there
still
you
friends
go.
with many of our regulars that would come in there.
Now, which one did you work at?
I worked in Albany, I worked in North Carolina, and I worked in Pompano Beach, Florida.
There you go.
The
Veteran.
tour day East Coast of working at Hooters.
And now she's vice president of sales of FanStream Sports.
There you go.
See, it was just
JP,
a
I have
stepping
also
stone.
met some of the best friends of my life at Hooters.
He says he's met the best friends of his life at Hooters.
I'm sure you have.
Daisy, Tiffany, or was that
Jessica,
another? Jessica,
Rebecca,
yeah,
and Bob.
I mean,
I feel like we're singing the Mambo
Bob
number 5
Passwaters,
song.
yeah.
Right.
I mean, if you're a man of our age and you haven't spent a good part of your adult life in Hooters, then what are you doing? What are you doing?
You're not living.
Probably a lot more productive things than spending half of their life.
No.
Actually.
What's more productive than eating wings,
Drinking beer,
and looking at beautiful women?
Yeah.
Like we're supposed to be ashamed to say that now. Like we're not allowed to say.
Focusing on their
No.
careers.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, you can
you
do
know,
that. You can do the
making
same. I'm
money,
not saying
I don't know,
we lived
maybe
there.
Stuff like that.
We didn't live there. It's just a nice
Their
break.
families.
Yeah, it's a nice break from so
Oh,
anyway.
it's a restaurant, okay?
All right.
At the end
Well,
of the day.
thank you for adding something. The lovely Ashley.
the lovely Ashley.
Isn't she lovely? Isn't she? No, it's not a strip club, honey. We know that.
It's not a strip club.
Restaurant.
It's just a restaurant.
Yeah, they wear short shorts. It's good.
Yeah.
We're all good with it.
Wait,
And-
wait.
Wait, there's more.
What's our favorite line that all the men say when they order wings at Hooters?
What?
I like them like I like my women, hot and naked.
And then you're supposed to like them.
You're like, oh.
I'm giggling for a tip.
Yeah, you have to giggle for a tip.
Giggle
Yeah, that's
for
the
a tip.
stupidest line ever.
Like what dude would? I mean, come on. Like they've
Nobody
never heard
says
that before.
right? Nobody says that.
Oh, wrong. Yes, of course.
I'm
they do.
embarrassed for humanity.
You should be. You should be embarrassed for your gender. We should be embarrassed for our gender because yeah. How many times a day would you get that?
I mean, I don't know about a day, but
All right, it's just like
I like
nobody's
my
ever heard that.
yeah.
Whatever. We're Neanderthals.
Oh God.
We're
It's just
Someone's birthday today.
is it anybody's birthday? You want to sing the birthday song?
If only we had a hula hoop.
If only we had a hula hoop. Yeah, she
What?
She can crush the hula hoop. I mean, crush the hula hoop. Those hips don't lie. Those hips don't lie. She can crush the hula hoop.
JP, I haven't done a hula hoop since I was 13 years old, and that was in 1980.
A long time ago. Long time ago. It's a long time ago. Yeah, I tried it a couple times and it didn't work very well.
No, it doesn't look. It's not a good look.
It is not a good look. You don't want to. You want to see Ashley doing hula hoop.
Yeah,
in the orange shorts. Like,
not
the
us.
Comments, honey. They're like, okay, go get a. They all want to see you in the orange shorts and hula hoop. I tell you what I'll do, guys. I'll tell you what I'll do, Ashley, and you better come back up now. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll get her to put on her outfit again and hula hoop for you guys, and I'll post it on social media. How's that?
That would be
Everybody
amazing.
with that, we can, and maybe listen, from the home studio, we might get a live performance. I
Never know.
can't promise anything, but yeah.
All right, if Ashley will do it, I will do it.
No, that's not what they want.
Oh, that's not what I thought we were going. We're not going for that.
No, I want to see her do it. They did not want to see you do it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Especially in a pair of orange shorts. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that.
My tiny
God.
oranges.
My God.
No.
No.
He can, like, be black
No, we're not there. No, we can't do that. Black, like, put on a black wig and put the orange shorts on. No, not on this show.
Man, I'll do
You can
anything
do
for
it.
$10. Okay.
Yeah, you can. I love because we have our viewer counter in ARPA left now, and I could, as she comes on, the views go up, and I knew Rick would chime in. I knew I've got glare here, Rick, so it's hard for me to read everything here today. Let me see what he said here. He said, I think Tim made lots of, quote, friends at the other Tampa establishment. Remember, stay out of the spaceship. You can't save them all. Stay out of the spaceship. Yes.
But I can try.
Yeah. Have you been to the spaceship?
Yes. I know the
2001?
spaceship. Yep. I know the spaceship.
I never have, ever.
Of course you haven't.
Yeah.
Wait, she can't hear me. Of course you have.
That's right. You're absolutely right, Tim. She can't hear
Yes.
you. Yeah.
Dang it.
All right. Can we get back to the Bucks? Speaking of the 2001.
Get back to sports talk, JP.
Oh, you're on tape.
Oh,
today,
damn
though.
it.
She's got her headphone in. All right. So just a few blocks from the spaceship is Raymond James Stadium. That's a professional segue right there.
Yeah,
folks.
it's a good
That's
segue.
a professional segue. Where Mike Evans will continue to play as a Buccaneer. He'll have his press conference today. I think we'll be very interested to hear about the whole contract process. And then we can finally, hopefully you guys can realize, if you don't already, and if you watch the show, you certainly do, of all the, it's lying season, right? These agents are out there lying. They're trying to get more leverage for their player. Other teams are lying on other, to get the price up. So their rivals have to spend more money. The Atlanta Falcons are deeply involved in that, I believe, in this Baker Mayfield deal, which, again, we're seeing these reports that his agent demanded $44 million a year. Those reports are untrue. They are untrue. I think, we may hear Baker say that. By the way, Baker was at Steinbrenner Field yesterday taking some cuts with the Yankees. He's going to the Jets. He's not going to. He's going to the Giants. He's there with the Yankees. No, he's not. He's not, folks. And Tristan Wirfs, his bodyguard, was there with him. Who I think they go everywhere together. Yeah. They're like stepbrothers now. We need to make. They had Tommy and Gronky, which was, by the way, if you never watched the Tommy and Gronky, those were epic episodes. Those were just absolutely fantastic. Go back on the Bucks website or YouTube it. They were fantastic. But I think Baker and Tristan should do the same thing as Gronky and Tommy. I think that they have great personalities. They're both great players. So they're literally attached at the hip.
Yep.
They go everywhere together. They are stepbrothers. You want to do some stepbrothers lines, Ashley? She likes the movie. We can do some of those lines.
It's a great flick.
Yeah. So, and it's further proof. Okay. The dude ain't going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. You think he's going to, again, we've talked about this ad nauseum, but the national press just keeps he's going to Atlanta. They're going to offer him to, look, the Patriots are interested. Minnesota, if they lose Kirk Cousins, look at the weapons he has. Baker will want to go there. He's going to go to the highest bidder. I don't believe any of it. So I would fully expect Baker. Now, will he hit free agency on Monday where they can actually negotiate? Yeah, there may be some of that. And listen, maybe the Bucks, there could be a feeling by the Buccaneers that, that value isn't $40 million. Are there really other suitors out there for Baker Mayfield? Are there? We'll find out on Monday for sure. And maybe Jason Light is like, listen, we're going to offer you, $30 million, 90 guaranteed. It'll be a 5-year deal. We'll have add some voidable deal, or, a five-year deal at $140 million with 90 of it guaranteed, whatever, something in that range. And Baker may go, I'd like to get to 100 million. Look at my, I'll find out on Monday who else is paying. And both sides were, because I think they're both very confident that he's not going anywhere. But you can go, like, if he and Jason could very politely say to his agent, okay, let's see where the market is, and wherever the market is, we'll come close to it. Okay, so let's see if he puts a real deal on the table, and they can have a gentleman's agreement because he's not going anywhere, and that's fine, right?
And everybody needs to remember, we don't have to wait until Wednesday when the new league year starts and free agency starts on Wednesday, because noon Eastern on Monday begins the legal tampering period, right?
Stupidest name for anything ever.
I mean, it's such a slap in the face to whatever they try to do, right? But it's a thing, which means teams can actually talk to other players with a tampering, but it's okay to do it for 2 days until the new league year starts, until free agency starts on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern or 4 p.m. Eastern? I don't remember. So we may hear things before Wednesday. We're going to hear things on Monday, right? Starting at noon. Eastern, we're going to hear things. So-and-so's talking to Baker Mayfield. These teams are talking to the Bears about Justin Fields, blah, 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 whatever your free agents are. It's going to start on Monday. We don't have to wait till Wednesday.
Right. And so, I'm just saying these are things that happen. Jason could say, all right, let's go ahead and see where the market is. I don't think it's there, but if it is, we'll come close to it. Okay, cool. All right. So we get to Monday and they go, Minnesota's on the line and they're offering us $40 million, or $35 million, and then of course, Jason will have to verify that, it's a verified offer and, they find these things out and he's going to be like, oh, well, okay. All right. I didn't think it was there, but how about 35?
Yeah, if that's where we are, let's go here. Let's start here.
Okay, we can do that. All right, everybody happy? Good. Deal's done. And that's fine. People are, oh my God, you can't let him hit free agency. What if he goes? He's not going anywhere. But they can determine his value in a more real way by doing that and then come back and sign. Right. Now, is there a risk that somebody just throws stupid money at him and you lose him? Yes, there is. But you know what? If somebody wants to pay Baker Mayfield $45 million a year and guarantee him $200 million, some stupid, Deshaun Watson ridiculous deal, you got to let him go.
Yeah.
You got to let him go.
Yeah, you can't do anything about that.
You can't. You just got to say, okay, moron.
Fans will light up the team if that happens, but it's not Jason Light's fault. It's not. It's not. It is what it is, right? That's free agency.
You can't win. I don't think you can win in the NFL with those type of numbers. I just don't. You if you have Patrick Mahomes, maybe you can. But Baker Mayfield,
he's not even making that money.
Yeah, he's not. By the way, he's not. Baker Mayfield. But if you have Baker Mayfield and you're spending that much money, you can't win because that keeps you from surrounding him with a lot more players that you need to win. He's not that guy that's going to. And Baker will tell you that. Okay, he knows that. He knows he needs help around him and great weapons and all that stuff. He knows that. He's not a guy that's going to want to eat up, 35% of the salary cap. He should know that. I believe he does.
He's been around enough to know.
Exactly.
Right.
He's been around enough to know. So let's just all calm down. And if he hits free agency on Monday, that's going to be fine. And we've seen this with Carlton Davis. We've seen this with Jamel Dean. We've seen this with many Buccaneer players. And Jason Light said, okay, let's go see what the market is. And then when you see where the market is, come back to us and we'll match it or get close. We know you want to stay. Everybody, good. And it happens. So and again, if somebody wants to steal him and pay that kind of money, you say, thank you very much. Well, what are we going to do then, JP? Well, you do it, what were we going to do without Baker Mayfield?
Right.
We got lucky. Let's just be honest. Did Jason Light see that coming? No.
Nope.
No. Did he hope it would be good enough to maybe win a bad division? Yeah, absolutely. And he was. And he overperformed. So great. Everybody did their job. Great. This is what good organizations are supposed to do. So how do we, okay, you proved yourself. We're going to give you good money. We want you to be our starting quarterback. Everything fits. And it fits so well that it not happening would absolutely shock me. So and if there is a plan B, what's plan B? Kyle Trask, draft a quarterback. Michael Penix is probably going to be there at 26. If he is and Baker Mayfield's gone, you run to the podium.
Yep.
You run to the podium. And you say, Bruce Arians loves this cat. Says he's as good a thrower as he's seen in 10, 15 years since Joe Burrow. And before that, Joe Burrow may be the only one better. So, So life will go on. If this were to happen, and I don't think it is, but life will go on without Baker Mayfield. And the Bucs, Michael Penix may turn out to be Brock Purdy or better, right? We don't know. There's a lot of evidence that suggests he's a pretty damn good quarterback. And he's from the Tampa area. We might luck into that deal. Who knows? But stop freaking out, Bucs fans.
Yeah. By the way, have you heard the news coming out of the Cincinnati camp and the Joe Burrow camp?
Listen, I have not, but I've said it. I said it the day I saw that clip when he picked up the ball and dropped it. I said, woof.
So apparently there are doctors, and one of them was the doctor that did the surgery, that have come out and said, look, this is a career-altering injury because of what it is, right? It's ligaments and tendons in his hand, in his throwing hand, that affect the grip on the ball, that affect your ability to hold the ball. and they are saying this could be career altering. Not saying career ending, but the injury that he suffered in his throwing hand could be career altering.
I thought it was his elbow.
No, it's in his hand. It's in his wrist, in his hand.
His wrist. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought it was his wrist.
Yeah, no, it affects the ligaments that are in his hand. The surgery that he had was in his hand. So it is things that affect the way you hold the ball, the way you throw the ball, and like you just said, you saw that the night against the Ravens when he had that injury. He couldn't even hold the ball. He literally dropped the ball. He couldn't hold it. And this, he's had the surgery. He's doing all of the rehab, but the doctors that are coming out that know about these things, including the doctor that did the surgery, are saying this is going to be career altering for him. That is bad news for the Bengals.
Look, I don't know nothing
news for Joe Burrow.
Listen, I played high school quarterback, played a lot of years of flag football. I've thrown a gazillion passes in my life, so much so that I had to have my right shoulder completely rebuilt, labrum and rotator cuff. So I've thrown a few passes in my day. A lot of them wobbled, but I'm here to tell you, you can't grip the football the way you want to grip the football, and he is an absolute Michelangelo when it comes to throwing the football.
Yeah.
And, just imagine a painter, a dolly, getting it, losing some of the feeling in your fingers or your hands. The throwing of football at the level that he throws the football, where the difference between a pick six and an out and a completed first down is about that much.
Yep.
Or less sometimes. Yep. Thank you, sir. You're getting served beverages here.
Oh, can I get one?
But not in Hooters orange shorts, by the way. But thank you, Ward.
Wow.
Actually, we'll have you.
You're gonna show up. You're gonna show up next year, and the event is that's gonna be everyone's wearing orange shorts,
and it's sponsored by Hooters, right?
It's sponsored by Hooters. Yeah.
Hey, listen, I don't want to get off this topic, but this is. But we'll get back to Champion Stores. I'm writing this down. Champion Stores, sponsored by Hooters. That's a winner. That's happening right here.
Put it together. Yeah.
Yep, you heard it first here, right here. Now, this is well, if you're a Bengals fan, this is catastrophic news. Catastrophic news.
Yeah.
But we'll see where it goes. But it's that is way worse than an Achilles and way worse than a knee, way worse than anything, because that's how you grip the ball. Determines the spin rate, the velocity rate, the accuracy, all that stuff. Yep. So that's why Deflategate was such a big deal.
Oh my God! But was it? It should have been a bigger deal. I feel like, right? It kind of went away really quick.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Something went on forever. Tom Brady is still sick about it. All right, so let's. Any other news we had to get to? I do want to get to this Bucs wise. Jordan Whitehead, former safety here, signed a free agent deal with the Jets. He is now a free agent again, and evidently on his Instagram, he put out a video of him making all these great plays in a Buccaneers uniform. So there's a marriage that might be rekindled.
Wow.
So, and I would love to see that. To Antoine Winfield and Jordan Whitehead. Woo.
Yeah,
come on,
I'd take that. Yeah,
come on. Yes, and that would. And they're in need, so that's something that could come together really, really nicely. And I think the Bucs never wanted to lose him, one of those cap casualties, but bringing him back would be fantastic. All right, so we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we will have Jane Geddes here, our 1986 U.S. Open champion and great advertiser on this show of the Geddes Gordon Group. We'll talk some real estate. We're going to talk lots of golf as well. When we come back here to the Aramco Team Series event at Feather Sound, come on out. It's International Women's Day. Women get in free. You bring your daughter. Come on down here and watch these great ladies play golf. It is an absolutely fantastic day for it, and it's fun to watch. The setup out here is fantastic. Easy to get in. Come on down to Feather Sound Country Club. Back in 3. Stay with us.
This is The Strike. 102.5 WHPT, HD2 Sarasota, Tampa, St. Pete.
JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves, who lives right here and has long been a highly respected member of our community. He's a proud sponsor of the Tampa Riverwalk. Jeeves Law Group is also a proud sponsor of our Grand Central District in St. Pete and has neighborhood events throughout the year. He has an office on Central Avenue in St. Pete and one on South Howard in Tampa. You can't get more local than that. So when you need an attorney, you're going to hire some huge firm that advertises all over the state or the one that supports your favorite sports show. It's the Jeeves Law Group. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. For personal injury and personal attention, call us for a free case evaluation. That's 8889-JEEVES. That's 8889-JEEVES.
All right, this is for all you guys who don't want to go to the gym and do 5,000 crunches. At Bay Area Modern Medical Center, you can get on the new True Body machine where you can reduce fat and tone up your muscle. It's like doing 54,000 crunches in just 15 minutes. Define your body as you see fit. True Body offers personalized muscle stimulation that delivers the equivalent of those 54,000 crunches in just 15 minutes. Just get in touch with them at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com. Chris Lugo and the team over there will set you up on True Body and get amazing results. Non-invasive with comfortable and little to no pain and zero downtime. You can isolate and target those areas that you want to improve and treat multiple areas simultaneously. It's an amazing machine, so check it out at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com.
Did you know Steve Weintraub founded the Gold and Diamond Source over 40 years ago by selling gold-plated sand dollars? And to celebrate, the Gold and Diamond Source is selling gold sand dollar jewelry with the proceeds supporting Julie and Steve Weintraub's foundation, Hands Across the Bay. Yes, in 1984, Steve opened their first location, expanded to 9 stores as far as Atlanta, but now they've consolidated all that inventory under one roof, becoming one of the largest family-owned fine jewelry stores in the country. Julie, of course, joined forces with her husband 20 years ago, and they're going to celebrate by offering up to 40% off select jewelry items. Plus, with gold prices near all-time highs, it's the perfect time to trade in your broken or unworn pieces for something new and stunning. Unlock the value in your jewelry box today at the Gold and Diamond Source. It's always one place, and it's always a great place. The Gold and Diamond Source celebrating their 40th anniversary, 3800 Olmerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com.
Let's go! Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, we are back here at Feathersound Country Club, where we are overseeing the Aramco Team Series event. The European Ladies Tour is here. I played in the Pro-Am yesterday, and a 2-time major championship winner sits down with me here, Jane Geddes of the Geddes Gordon Group.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's good to be back.
You should be playing out here.
I know. I'm just a little past that.
You think?
I don't know. I was checking it out. I mean, I could hit like maybe, 2/3 of how far they hit it. I don't even know.
Okay, let me tell you
These girls are like something.
Say Haley Lindell. I think if I'm. Let me see this tee sheet. I need to get her name right. This is bad. Anyway, Haley hit on the long drive. I hit a bomb as good as I can hit it maybe when I hit it right 270.
Yep.
She was 50 yards past me.
It's unbelievable.
50 yards
I was
past
watching.
me.
I was watching them hit balls in the driving range.
I mean,
was
and
just wow.
she just crushed the ball.
Yeah, it's cool. I love it. I
You were,
love it.
I mean, when you were winning championships, you were a big hitter.
I was.
How far were you hitting it back then with the wood clubs?
I was totally right.
The hickory shafts.
Totally.
No.
I did. I came out on tour with wood clubs, but then I transitioned into Big Berthas.
Yeah.
I hit it like 260-ish.
So with
that was
today's
pretty
ball,
good. That was
with
like
today's
a ball.
ball and today's equipment, that's 300.
Yeah.
That's
I
310.
was like one of the longer hitters on tour.
I want but you could go back and get your club head speed, right? Did
I
you know
could.
what was your club head speed back then? You know,
We didn't have track.
You
Man.
didn't
We
have
didn't have anything.
Every shot they hit out here is tracked with ball speed.
Everything. Everybody's carrying around TrackMans to like figure it all out.
So they had a on 18 here. They had a TrackMan, and so we all jumped up and they had us all hit, and they gave us a percentage of the longest hitter on tour, which is Ann Van Dam.
Okay.
And I was 73% of her. And the guy was like, "That's respectable. That's respectable. That's one of the better scores." I'm like, "Really?"
I know, but
Taylor
think about
Motter,
that though, right?
Taylor Motter, who played for the Rays.
Yeah.
He still played for the Cardinals last year, so a professional baseball player. He was at 100%. So he'd
All
been
right.
a little, but
with
he
a
was
lot of speed. Think about that.
Tons, yeah.
And strength and everything.
Yeah.
It's so impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, because it takes, here's the thing about women's golf is that what people I think golfers appreciate is that for us to hit it far, we have to have good technique. It's not about like this, brute strength
Right.
that guys can kind of parlay on, right?
Right.
It's a lot about technique, which is impressive.
Yeah. And these and just watching the golf swings out here.
Yeah. It's
To you,
fantastic.
what strikes you when you see Lexi Thompson? Because
I was just
Lexi hits at
watching her.
300.
I was just watching her.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, she is like a stud at. I mean, I don't know how tall she is. She's 6 feet, like fit, strong.
She's an athlete.
I mean, she's an
She's
athlete,
an elite
right?
athlete.
But she and Nelly, they have this this amazing arc in their swing and tempo. And I mean, I watched her hit balls, and I mean, she's just with ease, just pounding it out there. Same with Nelly. I mean, they just pound it out there with ease, but with great technique and, just so solid with what they're doing. Not a lot of movement. It's not like they're trying to kill it.
No,
and they're killing it.
And they're killing it. And
Yeah.
they're killing it. It's
Yeah.
it's fun to watch. And out here, especially, the ropes are so close.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, you can get up right close and watch them like you're playing.
That's
them.
cool. That's
And sign autographs out here when they're done. No, don't ask during the round. When they're done. So it's great to be out here, and the fact that the event just happened
I
so
know.
quickly. We were just talking about
Yeah.
that because you would have known about it.
Yeah, I didn't know
months and
anything
months in
about
advance.
it.
Yeah.
It just all of a sudden popped on the news.
2 months.
And, yeah, that's amazing. Well, what they've done out here, the signage and everything, and the infrastructure, that's
amazing.
impressive.
Yeah, I think when you have that kind of money that
Yeah,
the
that doesn't
PIF
hurt, right?
fund has, which it's Aramco, which is the Saudi Arabian. We don't, we're not going to get into all the politics.
Yeah.
I think we're all done with that. I think we've all figured out that
Yeah.
all the
Hey, we're at a
hate to
women's
say-
event
I hate to
that's
say this,
sponsored
but-
by the
Exactly.
Saudis, and I mean, I'm it's not all the way good, but it's a really good start.
I
You
mean,
know?
you can go down the rabbit hole. Go
Yeah.
find me some clean money.
Yeah.
Because there ain't in this world.
Yeah, well,
Anywhere.
we've been looking for it for a long time.
Exactly.
So
It
we're
ain't. It
finding
doesn't- it doesn't exist.
We're finding it here and there, but this is it's nice.
Well, one of the things about listen, I don't love what they did to golf in general
Yeah.
because it's kind of screwed up my PGA Tour.
Yeah.
I wish but that's not their fault in terms.
Yeah.
They just have the money
Right.
and they wanted to join with the PGA Tour, but the PGA Tour screwed that up as well.
Right.
I don't know if there's any villains here. I don't know if there's any heroes. I just want my PGA Tour back the way it used to be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my thing on everything that happened with Liv is that if Greg had an idea, I kind of get it from a golfer's perspective. I mean, I get it. I kind of live that,
Yes.
like wanting to play in other places. And I keep saying, if a rich oil man, right, a rich guy with oil from Texas, put up the money to put Liv together, all these conversations that we're having
Exactly.
would be over here.
Right.
They would
Right.
be, oh wow, how's that going to work with the PGA Tour, and what are we going to do? It wouldn't be about the Saudis. So I think I
Exactly.
think this perception of that it was all about the Saudis ruined it. No, the Saudis came in with a lot of money.
With a lot of money.
and they
And the leaders-
and they agreed to it.
Yeah. And the,
I mean,
and
you
the
know?
way the whole thing was handled, it's not the person that put up the money's fault.
No,
It's
that's-
the people that were in charge
Exactly.
couldn't figure out how to divvy up the stacks of money.
I think there's a lot of knee jerking that went around
Yeah.
and not a lot of thought that was put into it initially. And I think probably if they had to do it all over again, there'd be some different decisions made by both sides.
And
I think.
yeah, I would totally agree with that. So and the thing that's happening here is they're pumping a lot of money into women's golf.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing.
No,
is
it's
it?
not. No. And listen, I'm not a fan of what happens over there as far as
Right.
women's rights and everything.
We all know that.
However, like if you're going to make anything, start to make it right, there has to be some equality there. If
Yes.
there isn't, but if that's the goal, then I'm cool with that. If that's where we're headed and
Right.
trying to get, how does it all kind of come out?
It's a much longer political conversation
Yes,
that we're not
yes,
going to get into.
yes.
So
There's
but
no winner, by the
There's
way.
no winner, right? So what's good here is and even the slogan, it will impact the game,
Right.
and that's what they're doing here.
Right.
And the ladies are playing for a lot of money. There's a million, the big prize pool here.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a fun event. And it has a team aspect to
It's
it
cool.
as well.
I love it, which players love, by the way.
They love
From
the team.
Love it.
Yeah.
Like if you asked a player from any era of what's missing, what can we do on tour that would be fun? It's always a team event. Always, whether it's a team with other women or mixed team now that we've got back.
Yeah.
I mean,
Love that.
That was one of our favorite events.
Love that.
Always, it was one of our favorite events. So I think that the fact that we have something like that is there. I think that's the kind of stuff that really players love it. And so then they're going to participate, and you're going to get good fields, and you're going to get, hopefully this sort of thing that grows and it becomes an event that's important.
History lesson, mixed team event, right down the road at
Right down
Barmore,
the road.
right?
It was.
You played in that
I
many
did,
times.
and at Innisbrook, yep.
And in Innisbrook, yeah.
I played with Greg Norman. I didn't pair with him, but back when everybody played, Lee Trevino played,
Everybody
Greg Norman
played.
played, Curtis Strange played. Like we had everybody that was like all the top players were playing in that event.
And how much
That's how
the
much they
ladies
thought of it.
loved it.
Oh, we loved it, and we had all of our top players. It was cool.
Yeah.
It was
So
really
is the
cool.
new iteration of that, is it back?
Yeah.
And so I forgive me for not knowing exactly what,
Yes.
where, and when.
So you're going to ask me questions I don't know, but I
Yeah,
know it's
we'll,
back.
We'll look.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I saw it last year, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. I
And
can't remember
everybody's
where
been
they played it.
clamoring for it forever.
Yeah. I mean, it's so fun. I mean,
Tiger played with Kelly Keating.
Yes, she
And-
did.
and-
First
and
time I met
Innisbrook.
Tiger was right
I think
there
it was like
with
97
Kelly.
or
Yep.
something, 96 or 97.
Yep. He had just gotten on tour.
Yeah.
And Kelly wasn't even on tour yet.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. It's something that needs to happen. And I think the fans love it too.
Yeah, I think so too.
So
It was a great event.
So we're seeing that here in a much different format because the ladies are playing with guys.
Right. I saw that.
And it's amateur guys.
Yeah.
So, which is going to
How
be
fun.
interesting. Yeah. Well,
Kind of fun.
I mean, I'm nervous playing yesterday in a
Yeah,
pro-am
right.
because our scores kind of counted. And, you stand over a putt
I know.
like I did right here. I almost knocked
Yeah.
it in here on 18. Did I mention that already? I think I did 3 times. Almost knocked it in here, and I had about a 5-footer, 4 or 5
Were your
footer.
hands shaky?
What? Oh my God!
Yeah.
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
Well, also, I had a stroke on the hole, and I'd already screwed that up about 3 times in the round where I 3-putted
Right.
and lost. But all I had to
Right.
do was 2-putt to get
Right.
get the freaking
Right.
point, right? So
Video where it didn't happen, JP. Video where it didn't happen.
Well, you should have seen how what a horrible putt it was. Just when you lag a 4-footer,
Yeah.
that's
no.
bad.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not a good look.
No.
But I got the point. Could have had 2.
But you know what?
But I got the point.
I always say this about people, amateurs always ask, are you nervous? Blah, 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 blah. And I always say, like, everything is relative to however you play golf
Yeah.
to the pros. There's not, if somebody tells me that they have a putt to win a tournament, okay, and their hands aren't shaking or their knees aren't shaking or something's not shaking, they're lying.
They're lying.
I don't care how long it is. I don't care if it's that long.
Yeah. We've
Like,
seen
you
pros
are
miss that.
Shaking.
Yeah.
I've never not shook over that kind of putt to win a tournament.
What's the biggest putt you ever made?
Oh, that's a good question.
You've won 2 majors, so
I know, but I can't
to win the major.
None to win a major. I've never made a putt to win a tournament.
Right.
I've made some good putts coming down the stretch. I made really good putt at the U.S. Open on I think it was 16 or 17 downhill slider breaker on a par 3 to get to
Some breathing room.
Yeah. Well, I tied.
Well, that was the putt they won.
I tied. So
Yeah.
yeah. And then I went into the playoff after that, but. It was for me. It was more about my ball striking. Always, like, if I remember hitting really great shots at points as opposed to making putts, even though you had to make putts to win tournaments.
Yeah.
But I never made one of those where I was running on the green, unfortunately.
Well, Brittany Linscomb, who's playing out here,
Yeah.
she was on last week, and she's won 3 major championships, and I think she's won 12 or 13 times on tour. So she's as good as it gets.
Yeah.
And she's coming back from having 2 babies.
I know. I just saw it.
And she came out here a couple weeks ago and shot 65.
Wow.
Shot 65. But she said, when I'm in the tournaments now, it's just I'm getting
Yeah,
nervous.
It's hard.
She's been playing for 20 years.
It's hard.
And she
It's
said she's
hard.
working with psychological sports
It's
psychologists now.
hard. It's really hard. It gets to me. It's like the more you know, the worse, the harder it gets.
The more negative stuff in your brain.
Yeah,
right?
when you're young and you're just playing and you're loose and it just feels easier. And I don't think anybody disagrees with that. Like, so I'm always
harder as you get older.
Yeah, it just does. You just know too much, and you've done all the bad things, and you just hope that bad thing doesn't come back at that moment.
Right.
I hate to say it, but golf is such a mental game.
So what have you learned about the game? And just for the amateurs out there, we're at Palmacy on 18, putting for $50 or 50 cents. We don't care.
Yeah.
What do you do?
So you know
Is
what?
it pre-shot routine? Stick to a
Yes.
routine?
So I coach the Berkeley Prep golf team. Right. So I'm with boys and girls, and so so I'm with kids who are good players, who are kind of this is where I can bring value, right? Because I watch them play, and this is true with most amateurs, right? They get so caught in the moment and start keeping their score from the second hole. All right, I'm 1 over, I'm 2 over.
Yeah.
I made a birdie, I'm 1 over. It's like, for me to ask them to stay in the moment, it's so cliche, it sounds so simple, but it really is. It's about the pre-shot routine. It's about that moment,
That shot.
that moment, because that's all you can control. That's it. You can't even, once it takes off, that's it. Whatever you've done in the past is the past, whatever the future is, but that moment is the moment. And when I was playing my best golf, and I think most everyone will say this, like, you are so in a zone, you're so like in your body and wondering what everyone else is thinking, because you are spot on in the moment, in that exact moment. And so it seems so simple, but you just said it, like, you hit it into 18, you're like, I gotta make that putt. I hit it in there, I got the points, I got the this, I got the team, I got that. It's like in gym,
Everything
instead of
is
just that moment, right?
see the line.
That's it.
Keep your head still.
Right. All your things.
Make the putt.
Right. How much did you think about all those when you were doing it?
No. I'm looking over at Maha. Should I lag it? She's like, she lined it up. She lined it up for me. And I like, she's like, just hit it. Just hit the freaking button, idiot.
Just make it. I know.
Can't do it.
I know it's hard. It's a really hard game.
It is, but it's so
really
fun.
hard.
And
I know.
it's so addicting.
I know.
And I just absolutely,
I know.
absolutely love it. So when you come out to an event like this, what do you? So you go watch?
I go to the driving range.
You go watch like
That's where I go.
Yeah.
Always when I go to Pelican,
Yeah.
I love going out there, and that's what I want to do. I just want to go see them.
We talked about this
hit.
the other day, but is there anything better than watching? And Lexi's got a great swing, but Nelly Cordes,
Nelly, she's
the best swing I've. I think man. I hate to say it, this man or woman. I think it's the best swing I've ever seen.
Technically, she's got a pretty tremendous swing.
Yeah.
And you can have a great swing and not. And
she knows how to win.
That's a whole nother. That's the next thing, right? Like you can there's a lot of great swings out there.
And how much of that comes from watching your dad, Peter Korda?
Yeah.
Win major tennis tournaments.
I don't think
you grow up in a family like that.
Right. I don't think it hurts that, all that mental, like those conversations, like my kids play sports and we talk about that. We talk about, my daughter's a really good soccer player. My son's playing baseball right now and plays other sports. And we talk about that. Like, that's what we talk about at the dinner table, it's about like, how do you help them get in these mindsets? And it transcends across sports, And so, maybe they don't think we know very much sometimes, but that's okay. It's every now and then it sticks in, every now and then,
once in a while,
something sticks. And so with Nelly and Jessica and Sebi, and I mean, they're
their kids are just
think about that.
Yeah.
They had 3 professional athletes.
Yeah.
And good ones, by the way.
Really good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were they eating?
Yeah.
Not Cheetos.
Something.
Not Cheetos. Not Pop-Tarts for breakfast. That's for sure.
Wheaties, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's different.
No, it's cool. It's fun to watch.
So come on out here and enjoy this. It's going to be a fun event this way. And ladies golf in general, the prize money's never been bigger.
We're killing it right now. I mean, we're not killing it all the way up here, but we're getting there. It's cool to watch now.
All right. Well, actually, the players have now arrived, so we got to be a little bit quiet. What award?
Hey, can y'all tell Nelly I said hello and I'll talk to her later?
White sign
Yes,
held up
I will
against
tell.
us.
Nelly's not out here, but we got to keep.
No,
her
but when she sees her.
Okay,
Jane,
Jane can't hear you, so but
Jane can tell. This is my golf voice, JP. She can tell Nelly next time she sees her that.
No, she's not going to tell Nelly that IndyCar Tim said hello. She's not going to do that.
I'm not super tight with Nelly, but I mean,
You should make her a friendship bracelet with his phone number on it.
There you go. Ashley had a great idea. Make a friendship bracelet like
awesome.
Travis did for Taylor.
Well, I have
And
a
then-
picture of her that I autographed for her that I just need to get to her.
Okay, we'll take care of that. Jesus. But no, it's never. I think women's golf's never. And it was great to see Lexi and
cool.
the match the other night.
Yeah, that was really cool.
With
right?
Rose
I know.
King,
It was really cool.
And I thought they played really, really
Yeah,
well.
yeah, they
you
did.
know, and that's what we talked
I
about the mixed team event. We need more of that.
I mean, if you watch the women consistently, there's not too many times that they're not playing well.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to say, and the scores that they're shooting and
It's insane.
shots that they're hitting, and it's at a super light level. And the best part is right now, women's sports is on the rise. It's really cool. It's so fun. It doesn't matter what the sport is. It's on the rise.
Yeah.
It's how many people are watching women's college basketball games.
That? How about
It's crazy. It's crazy. Or women's volleyball or
Yeah.
golf or whatever. It's so
You ever-
cool. And soccer.
I mean, coming up when you did you ever think it would reach this level?
No.
Did you know that
No.
Caitlin Clark on Fox on last Saturday, they had over 3 million people watching that game, which is way
I mean,
more than
think
watch
about
NBA
that.
games.
Think about
on
that.
the average.
Think about that. It's so
Way
awesome.
more.
But you know what? I mean, and I'm not even going to be one of these people that says it's long overdue. It's great. The timing is
Time has
right.
come.
You know, the
Yeah.
soccer girls really, soccer girls, that sounds like something my mom would say, but you know what I mean? Like they really have, what they did, and they hung in there, with the whole equity and everything, whatever they did, and forget about, doesn't even matter the personalities, but they hung in there for all of us.
Yeah.
And that's going to make a difference. It's Billie Jean King now is
Yeah.
what it was,
Yeah.
and all that matters. It matters.
And
It's
I
cool.
remember, that match with Billie Jean and
Bobby Riggs.
Bobby Riggs. I just
Yeah.
with him in his glasses.
Oh my God.
And she kicked
Oh
his
my
ass. She
Totally.
kicked his ass in the Astros.
Totally.
Yes,
I
she
know.
did.
I remember that too.
Yeah.
We're old. 'cause
Yeah,
we remember
but that was a moment. That was a big moment.
It was a huge moment.
It was a huge moment.
Huge. All these, that's what history is about, right? Moments.
Yeah.
And so this is one of those for women's sports, and the LPGA is going to be on the receiving end of that, which is cool.
All right. So what's going on in the real estate world here? Are
Well,
things interest rates? What's going on?
Interest rates are they are what they are.
Yeah.
The market in Tampa's still hot.
Right.
I mean, it is still hot. I mean, we are, we're still cooking along, and here's the good news: is we're getting a little more inventory, which is good news for everyone. Whatever side you're on the buyer side or seller side. So, people that are out there that are thinking, I'm looking for a house. I don't want to even look now because the prices are so high because the inventory is so low. I think that's flipping around a little bit. And we're coming to the season now in the spring where, people that are looking to move, that maybe have kids in school, that are sort of contemplating, that move and whatnot. So there'll be more now coming on, which is great for the buyer market and also for the seller market. It's, we want to be able to sell homes, right? We
Right.
can't sell homes
Yes.
if people don't want to sell them.
Right.
So, we have a listing coming on next week. Next week that we're excited about up on Lake Keystone. Beautiful home.
Is it on the lake?
It's right on the lake. It's absolutely gorgeous.
No, it's out of my price range. But Ashley and
It's
I,
gorgeous.
we kind of decide. I've always wanted to be on the water, but the ocean's a little. It's a
I'll
little
tell you,
much.
there
But
are
the
some.
lakes
There are some.
beautiful.
I'll tell you, there are some great lake properties up in the Odessa, Trinity area. That that whole area is just a
Booming.
boom.
Yeah.
It is boom
but,
right
but
now.
it still keeps that lake house feel.
Yes,
Very rural
it is so
feel.
Lake
Yeah.
Keystone, where this home is. I mean, first of all, it's a beautiful home, but secondly, it's so peaceful.
I don't
It
think
is
I can go
just
there though.
So peaceful.
Because I think that's the one Rondé lives on. He wouldn't. I don't
Oh,
think
Ronnie lives out
I
there?
don't think
I didn't know.
Claudia would allow that at
Yeah,
all.
because you guys would be like swimming back and forth to visit each other,
Jet ski.
or like paddle boarding or something.
Hitting golf balls across the
Yeah,
lake
really.
is what we'd be doing.
Exactly.
Like, watch this.
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
No, it's beautiful. So yeah, so if anybody's interested in buying or selling or whatever, or even just wants a little information about the area, I'm here. I partner with my sister-in-law Patty Gordon, and that's where the Gettys Gordon Group comes from. And we work all around the area. We have we just sold a house to somebody in Dunedin. We're in South Tampa. We're on in Odessa. So we're Tampa Bay area is a sort of a broad area.
Feather
but
Sound area is
it's-
really nice.
I'll tell you,
It's really nice.
yeah,
And there's some
great
value
areas.
here too.
Yes, there are.
I mean,
There are.
compared to
Yep.
if you go across the Gandy to South Tampa,
It's tough.
I
It's
mean,
tough.
you're
Supply
talking
and
about
demand.
what is square footage over there?
I mean, yeah,
Ridiculous.
yeah, like we're talking 400, 3 to 4 to 500 more sometimes even.
And over here, it's more in the 250 range.
Yeah,
More
yeah.
reasonable.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
there's-
South Tampa's supply and demand. You're surrounded by water, and there's
Right.
only so much space.
Right.
And so here, there's a little more of a sprawl up in Odessa, Trinity. You have
Much
a little more
more, yeah.
sprawl.
Yeah.
That's where you can get value. We're in this sprawl.
Yeah.
You know,
You get
so-
across that Pasco line, and the taxes go
Yes.
like
yes.
way down.
Yep.
So that's good
there's
too.
some great, it's just some great areas all around the Tampa Bay area. So
Well, thanks for
Thank you.
stopping by.
yeah, thanks for having
Can
me.
we hang out a
Anytime.
little bit and watch some golf swings later?
Yeah.
All right. Deal.
All right. Thanks, you guys.
Thank Eddie's, everybody. Ladies and
you.
gentlemen, we're giving this the applause track right there. All right, quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk. We'll get you updated on the Bucks. What's going on with that? We'll talk a little bit more Bolts. We got some college football to talk about. You Gator fans, we got a little Gator news for you
Yikes.
as well. Yeah, that's right. Give them the chop. Ooh, but they got some hope. They got some hope. A little bit of hope. All right, stay with us. Hey, it's a great time to buy a house and get a mortgage with American Mortgage Services. Okay, I got your attention now. But JP, rates are at 8%. That's true, but I spoke with our friend Scott Fitzgerald at AMS Tampa, and this is what smart people are doing. Rates peaked at 8% last month, but they've come down, and AMS recently locked some folks in the high sixes. Prices have also stabilized or dropped in some areas. So if you're going to eventually buy, now is the best time to get the house you want. Fitz will get you the best rate out there, shopping it around to dozens of lenders, and when rates come down in a year or so and the frenzy begins again, prices go bananas again, you will already have the pick of the litter. Then he will refinance you and keep costs at nearly zero because that's what they do at AMS Tampa. You're back at 4% in the house you wanted while others fight the frenzy. Be smart. Stay one step ahead. Email Fitz at scott@amstampa.com, scott@amstampa.com, or call 813-294-7595. Scott Fitzgerald, NMLS 386722, American Mortgage Services, 1000 North Ashley Drive, Suite 1020, Tampa, Florida.
All right, this is for all you guys who don't want to go to the gym and do 5,000 crunches. At Bay Area Modern Medical Center, you can get on the new True Body machine where you can reduce fat and tone up your muscle. It's like doing 54,000 crunches in just 15 minutes. Define your body as you see fit. True Body offers personalized muscle stimulation that delivers the equivalent of those 54,000 crunches in just 15 minutes. Just get in touch with them at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com. Chris Lugo and the team over there will set you up on True Body and get amazing results. Non-invasive with comfortable and little to no pain and zero downtime. You can isolate and target those areas that you want to improve and treat multiple areas simultaneously. It's an amazing machine, so check it out at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com.
Everyone knows Italiano Insurance is your go-to for home insurance, but they also have an amazing team that focuses on business insurance. Yes, your business is most likely your biggest asset, so make sure you have the right coverage at the most competitive price. And if you started a side hustle recently, don't forget you need business insurance, because if you get sued in this over-litigious society we live in, you could lose all your personal wealth. So get that business insurance. And for the best customer service, always choose Italiano. My representative, Charity, is amazing. I called her late on a Friday because my insurance was going to lapse. She stayed late until the job was done. You just don't find that anymore. Give them a call, 813-877-7799. That's 813-877-7799. Italiano Insurance.
Lexi Thompson headlines a star-studded field as the Aramco Team Series presented by PIF comes to town. Feathersound Country Club plays host to golf's most innovative format this March 8th through 10th as the Ladies European Tour makes the trip across the pond. As Megan Kang and two-time major winner Brittany Lincecum add to the American star power, Europeans Carlotta Singata and Charlie Hull aim to spoil the party. Secure your place now at AramcoTeamSeriesUSA.tixr.com.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
I drive a bus, and I told my boss I was going to visit my sick grandmother. And I didn't think
Welcome back. Welcome back to Feathersound Country Club. Our good friend Ward Clayton, who runs the media here, is telling a story right now.
You guys are having a party over there, man.
We are, yeah. We got cocktails. Or is this just tea, Ward? It's an Arnold Palmer. Oh, it's my favorite.
I have cocktails too.
Yeah, you got the Sonic hangover. Okay. Did you get the okay, good. He's telling a great story, and Ward wrote a book about the caddies at Augusta, and it's a great story. I should just have you come on and tell the story. Boy,
Let's do it.
Let's do this. Yeah, this is a great story. This is Ward Clayton, and he is an author and historian. There we go. Set right there. Well, first of all, welcome to the show. Thanks for having me out here.
Thank you, buddy.
And we put this together last week, and we played together out here at Feathersound, and it just had a wonderful, wonderful time playing with you. Just talking golf, and this is one of the great stories you told. Tell us first of all about the book and the documentary and all that good stuff.
So you can get a
yes.
visual.
There you go.
There's your card right there.
Put that up right there.
Yep.
The legendary caddies of Augusta National.
So the story I told JP was 1971. Charlie Coody was fairly, he hadn't won a whole lot of golf tournaments.
Right.
He won his share, but still, he goes to the 1971 Masters, and on Saturday afternoon, he's coming to the 8th fairway, and Johnny Miller and Jack Nicklaus are right behind him. He's leading the tournament. And his caddy, when they're waiting for the green to clear on 8, his caddy says, "What time does TV come on today?" Charlie Cootie said, "Why are you worried about that?" Says, "Well, Mr. Cootie, I drive a bus in Atlanta. I told my boss I was going to visit my sick grandmother in Atlanta this week, and I didn't think you were going to play this well." And so Charlie Cootie just started laughing. And so when they got to the 11th hole every day, which is where the broadcast began on CBS in those days for the Masters, every day Charlie Cootie would hit his tee shot on 11, come down the fairway, there'd be his caddy, and his caddy had taken the towel off the golf bag, put it over his head, put his cap on over it, so he thought he could hide from his boss. So he wasn't concerned about Jack Nicklaus and Johnny Miller. He was more humored by his caddy wearing a towel over his head.
And he went on to win the tournament.
His caddy's nickname had a great nickname, Cricket.
Cricket.
Because he was tall and thin and sort of looked like a cricket.
And back in those days, they would hire the caddies on site. They wouldn't have their traveling caddies.
Until 1983, Augusta National's all-black caddy corps was the caddy for everybody. That's where Iron Man, who caddied for Arnold Palmer, came from. That's where Willie Peterson, who caddied for Jack Nicklaus, came from. And they all caddied in the tournament, and they were personalities. Iron Man was very understated.
Mm-hmm.
Arnold was very outgoing.
Yeah.
Jack Nicklaus, when he played, was pretty slow player, pretty within himself. And Willie Peterson, if you ever look at any pictures of when Nicklaus won, Willie's running around on the green, jumping up and down. And Willie was famous for watching Nicklaus hit balls on the range before the first round. And Jack would cut through the clubhouse at the putting green. Willie would circle around the clubhouse and stop by the caddy shack and stick his head in the door and say, "I'll bet everybody $50 he shoots 65 or better today." So Willie was really pretty gregarious character.
Yeah, and probably made a little money. Then they probably
lost some money on that bet. Yeah, he lost some money on
even
that
for
bet.
Jack. 65 is not easy.
Exactly.
At Augusta.
Exactly.
So, what a great event they put on here. You've kind of seen this take shape behind the scenes in 2 months.
Yeah,
they put this whole thing together.
No doubt. I think the cool thing, and you found out about this yesterday playing in the Pro-Am, is you play with a professional, and you were duly impressed with how she played.
It's amazing how good they are.
And you even felt comfortable enough to ask her for a chipping lesson. I wonder
did.
if that worked. I hope.
Well, I got to go do some work on it, but I didn't really get a chance to put it into. You don't want to take a lesson and put it into. I had to use my terrible, style that I was doing.
Yeah,
I wasn't confident enough, but I'm going to go use that. It was, oddly enough, very similar to what you told me, because I had the club like this on the ground, and like when you're chipping, you should be like over the ball and have it flat so you can use the bounce of the club, as she said.
Yep.
So you got to use the bounce of the club. It makes it easier.
Yep.
And I just hit a couple using that, and it works a lot easier. I found out.
No doubt.
Golf is such an amazing game that way. I mean, there are just little tips like that, especially for amateurs, that can make such a huge difference.
Yeah.
Because my short game right now is just awful, and I'll go practice that, and it will help tremendously.
Well, it's interesting here in Tampa. You got different people that are in the professional sports world, other entities that are really good golfers. The hockey players are all great golfers.
Really good players, yeah. Similar motion.
The place kickers,
Mm-hmm.
they have more free time.
Yeah.
But the place kickers are generally similar kind of motion.
Really
same
good
kind-
players. Jay Feely, who grew up here, and it was obviously a great kicker in the NFL, now in broadcasting, is a tremendous golfer. Great player.
Well, Jay also, and those kickers probably understand the whole mentality of, I don't need to focus on anything except for the 5 seconds where I'm kicking the ball between the uprights, and here you and I are playing, and we're focused on it for a minute, and we're losing our minds.
I'm thinking about, what's Ashley doing at home? While I'm standing over a 3-foot putt. I'm like, was I supposed to take out the garbage this morning?
Was that your pre-swing
Yeah,
thought on that putt?
exactly. I'm like, ass kick when I get home. I forgot to put the garbage cans out. So, and you're like, this is what we're thinking about. We're like, you should be thinking about making a putt. So I can blame it on that.
You asked about the tournament. I've been duly impressed with the personalities of the women who are playing to interact with you in the Pro-Am or even in the amateur competition today. And they've been fun. They've been, they're looking to be competitive, of course, but they're also understand that the more people they talk to and interact with, is the more positive it's going to be.
Yeah. And Ward is also part of the media contingent at Augusta, which is coming up quickly. Literally my favorite sporting event in the world to watch, be at, whatever. And it's such a special place. What makes it so special to you? 10 years you wrote for the Augusta Chronicle, right? What I think everybody has a kind of a different answer, a same but different answer. What makes it so special to you?
Same place every year.
Yeah.
But yet there's differences when you go there. There's these little tweaks that you have to sort of figure out, not only as a spectator, but as a player. Like this year, and this may seem insignificant, but the second hole, par 5, they moved the tee back 10 yards and a bit to the left. Par 5. So you're going to have to turn your driver over a little bit farther.
Yep.
Okay. So it's the same place every year. There's a friend of mine from North Carolina, David Whitfield, and we always say we're going to the promised land, sort of like the Israelites leaving Egypt going to Israel is what we always think to yourself. You know, when you're making your way to Augusta, you're headed to the promised land.
It's a pilgrimage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what's cool about it to me. And, you know, you see the same people every year, but you only see them, you know, for 1 week's time. And next thing, I'll see you at Augusta next year. So sort of like Christmas.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. So number 2, and it, you know, people would say it's a faders golf course, right? Like
it's a hookers golf.
I mean, everybody's playing a fade now.
Yeah.
On tour, so they come to this golf course, which you got to work it right to left.
Yes.
And it just it challenges them to do something differently, which is, I think, interesting in the whole part of it. And when they make these tweaks, it's a reaction to what everybody's doing now. They're fading the ball, so now you got to do something different. We're going to challenge you in a different way.
Well, Tiger and Jack, if you've ever noticed over the years, in the events leading up to Augusta, they're working on moving the ball right to left. Nicklaus always hit that big high cut.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But at Augusta, in the weeks leading up, he's always thinking to myself, I need to work on drawing the ball off the tee.
Yeah.
And so it must have worked because he won it 6 times, and must have worked for Tiger because he's won it 5 times. So therefore, you know, start moving the ball right to left off the tee before you go there.
Yeah.
That'll be successful
if ever. Yeah, because you've got so many holes like that. And number 2 is going to be that's going to be very, very interesting now.
Well, what the area down the left of number 2, if you hit it to the left, is called the Delta ticket counter.
Because that's where you'll be.
Because you hit it down in the bottom, there's a creek down in the bottom, and there's been a number of guys on the second hole of the day. They'll make like 7 or 8 because they hit it down in there, and the next thing you know, they're looking for their airline ticket out on Friday.
Indeed, they will.
So that might make that even more important.
Got any early faves for Augusta?
Scheffler.
I
think Scheffler's just so good tee to green. You know, he'll find his putter. So
you think?
Oh yeah,
Scotty Scheffler.
I think so.
We'll see. I don't know. I mean, if he does get the putter going, nobody's beating him.
No doubt.
I agree. Ward, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, man.
Great story,
Thanks,
man.
buddy.
Appreciate it.
Good to see you.
All right, and go get the book. It's a great book. If you love golf, go get the book. It's absolutely fantastic. All right.
The great Ward Clayton, my Sports Illustrated writing brother, by the way.
Oh, that's right.
He writes over there at SI, just like me. Yeah. Or maybe I write just like him. That's probably.
I will. I'll mention that to him. I'm sure he's a big fan of your work.
You know what? Everyone is.
Let's read some of the comments here. Christopher Cole. Good morning to you. Wilson is traveling to Pittsburgh. I see that. That's a marriage. Yeah,
it's not happening.
You don't think?
No.
Although, it seems right because they don't want to spend any money on a quarterback. But Mike Tomlin and Russell Wilson?
No, I can see it working. I just don't think it's happening.
JP is the Uncle Rico. I can throw this ball right over that mountain. Hit that ball right over that water.
And hit this drive right over that water.
I was hitting some bombs there. That was my best driving day in a long, long time. Baker and Wirfs are like Arnold and DeVito twins. The twins, yeah, they are. Right? They are.
It's a great movie.
Their size, yeah, absolutely.
Underrated.
Oh, and across the street. What's that? Have you been to the one across the street? What? Oh,
I think the strip clubs is what we were talking about.
2001? No. Wait, isn't there a Wendy's across the street? I have no idea what you're talking about. There's a car wash.
Yeah, it's a car wash, right?
K Duba said, no, that's K Dub 4. Rick, I think Tim made lots of friends at the other Tampa establishment. Remember, stay out of the. All right.
Yeah.
Are there any serious comments on here about?
I hope not.
Baker, Evans, any of that stuff. All right, we'll take another break. We'll come back on the other side. We'll I got to get to the Gator stuff. I got to do that right now. So DJ Lagway, their new quarterback, biggest recruit since Tim Tebow, no question about it. Yeah, Gatorade Player of the Year. Look at these numbers. I thought, are these his career numbers? No, 4,604 yards passing, 957 yards rushing, 74 touchdowns at Willis High in Texas. Is that near you?
No.
Well,
No, it's not
70.
close.
I mean, that's just ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. Widely considered the number one quarterback in the class, and they lost a lot of people in that class, but they did not lose DJ Lagway, and that's going to be what Billy Napier is going to hang his hat on. Obviously, he did his first practice yesterday, and now the thing is, he's not supplanting Graham Mertz, who was fantastic last year, 73% completion rate. He was really, really good last year for the Gators. So, and I think that's great. I think that's a great situation when the guys that are that highly touted don't have to come in and be the savior right away. He could sit for a year or play like Tebow did. Tebow came in, and because I covered that team, that national championship team, and Chris Leak was the starting quarterback. And, they had such a good team, and they brought Tebow in. He had that Wildcat, so to speak, package, and the goal line package, which they used in the national championship game. And he was fantastic, but he didn't have to come in and be the guy right away. And that worked out pretty well. So they won a national title, and then he won as the main starter a couple of years later. Worked out just perfect for him. So I think that's a good situation. Now, will Billy Napier be around? I don't know. And if Billy Napier leaves or they fire him, which by the way, I think is one of the big reasons he didn't get fired. You don't fire a guy who's bringing in the number one quarterback. That would be stupid. Yep. And that team's, you're not really ready to win anyway, but you got to keep your quarterback in the draft class. So, good for the Gators. They need that. They need that spot of hope. And the other part about him not starting this year is that schedule is brutal. I mean, freaking brutal. It is so tough, and you don't want him, coming in with a team that's not ready to play at that level as a whole team right now. You get just destroyed, and losing its confidence or getting hurt. So it's kind of Graham Mertz is going to be the sacrificial lamb, but I think, that's a good setup. That's a good, you got a schedule like that. You just got to kind of take your lumps a little bit. I mean, if they were to somehow find a way to a bowl next year, that would be, Billy Napier would definitely save his job. Yeah, but it's probably not going to happen. They'll probably win 3 to 4 games, and that's not, go look at the schedule. It's brutal. So, yeah, that's not a bad situation for him. Nope. But he's here. He's on campus. He looks good in that orange and blue. So there is hope. There is hope in Gainesville. All right, we'll take a quick break here. We'll come back. We've got the tournament director coming up, so we'll talk some more golf, get you updated on anything else that's going on in the sports world. Any breaking news? Mike Evans getting set to do his press conference just after noon today. So we'll keep you posted. Stay with us. 3-minute break. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves. If you're going to hire an attorney, do you want some guy looking for a quick settlement and a quick buck, or do you want an attorney with some chops? Scott is a board-certified civil trial lawyer and a certified circuit court mediator. Been practicing in the Tampa Bay area for over 30 years. He is a peer-reviewed AV preeminent-rated civil trial lawyer. They just don't hand out those classifications. He's been the lead class action counsel on many complex consumer protection cases and has handled hundreds of serious personal injury cases. He's dedicated his career to protecting injured victims and is committed to vigorously representing you. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. Personal injury and personal attention. Call for a free case evaluation. That's 888-9-JEEVES. That's 888-9-JEEVES. The Jeeves Law Group. JP here for the Geddes Gordon Real Estate Group and our good friend Jane Geddes. Folks, simply put, there is nobody like Jane. Jane is a former LPGA 2-time major championship winner. She was also vice president of talent relations at WWE. She also has a law degree from Stetson. So if Jane can drain a 10-footer to win the U.S. Open and stare down Hulk Hogan in the boardroom, You want Jane on your real estate team to not only negotiate the best deal, but find you the perfect home or investment property. And when you work with the Geddes Gordon Group, you become part of the real estate family and get concierge services that include expertly staging, marketing, and preparing your home for sale. Advice on golf properties. Hey, you might even get some golf tips. Many of their clients become friends long after the sale or purchase is completed. It's all part of the deal. So if you're looking for that perfect home or investment property or try to get top dollar for your home, go with Jane Geddes and the Geddes Gordon Group, because there's nobody like Jane. Call 813-485-6808 or go to geddesgordon.kw.com. That's GEDDES Gordon.kw.com or call 813-485-6808. Everyone knows Italiano Insurance is your go-to for home insurance, but they also have an amazing team that focuses on business insurance. Yes, your business is most likely your biggest asset, so make sure you have the right coverage at the most competitive price. And if you started a side hustle recently, don't forget you need business insurance, because if you get sued in this over-litigious society we live in, you could lose all your personal wealth. So get that business insurance. And for the best customer service, always choose Italiano. My representative, Charity, is amazing. I called her late on a Friday because my insurance was going to lapse. She stayed late until the job was done. You just don't find that anymore. Give them a call, 813-877-7799. That's 813-877-7799. Italiano Insurance.
Let's go. Right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show as we are coming to you live from the Aramco Team Series event here. We are underway at the Feather Sound Country Club as we overlook. I'm sorry, my background's so blown out here, Tim. You know, it's hard to get the right contrast in the back because it's so beautiful here. I'll put up a bunch of pictures and stuff afterwards so everybody can see where.
Yeah, post the pictures, because it was funny when you had Jane on and then when you just had Ward on, the camera would kind of would correct itself and we could see the background, and then it would go back to being washed out, kind of like that. So yeah, we'd love to see all of the background and the pictures and the scenery going on there.
Yeah, because it's so beautiful. We're overlooking the 18th hole right now.
There's somebody on the 18th green right now?
Yes, there. So,
do you need a golf talk right now?
Not really. We can speak in our regular. We're far enough away. It's not echoing out there, thank God. Good, so it's good. We've had a trade in the NHL that will affect the Lightning. The Carolina Hurricanes have traded for the Capitals' Evgeny Kuznetsov. So the longtime Washington center is headed to the Capitals. Kuznetsov is 31. He's under contract through the 24-25 season. Total cap hit of $7.8 million and $8 million next year. The Hurricanes, who acquired Jake Gensel on Thursday night, are going all in this season and standing pat after standing pat at last year's deadline. So they get Gensel and Kuznetsov.
Yeah, they just beat my Montreal Canadiens yesterday 4-1. So they are all in and they are going for it, man.
Yeah, the Caps are not far behind the Lightning, so this is kind of a give up move for them.
Yeah.
They get a 2025 third round pick and retain 50% of Kuznetsov's salary.
That's a big thing apparently now in the NHL when they make these trades. The Stars the Stars just did that, and they're only having to pay half of the salary.
Yeah.
Now I can't remember his name. The defenseman they just acquired. They're only paying half of his salary this year. That's like a big thing in the NHL now, I guess.
Well, the Lightning just made a deal where they're paying 25% of his salary to get a fourth round pick. Just that, so you can do that and help other teams out, like in a three-way deal, and pick up some draft capital, which the Lightning are desperately in need of. Kuznetsov has struggled this season, scoring just 17 points. Wow. Yeah, he is way off.
Yeah, he needs a change of scenery.
Capitals, who are in the playoff hunt, are trying to retool their roster. They also traded Anthony Mantha, who scored against the Bolts a couple weeks ago, to the good Vegas Golden Knights, and Joel Edmondson to the Maple Leafs. So they pretty much give up.
Yeah.
Oh, so Hunter Henry and the Patriots have agreed to a 3-year deal for him to return to the team. So Patriots.
Who's going to throw him the ball?
Yeah, nobody knows. I think it's going to be Mac.
No, I don't think so.
Cowboys reworked Zach Martin's contract, which they needed to do to get some salary cap relief. So Dak's going to play his absolutely. So Dak's going to play his final year for the Cowboys under this contract, where he counts what, $59 million towards the cap?
$59.5 million.
So yeah,
For how many NFC Championship games, JP, have the Cowboys been to?
That'd be a big fat zero, as far as I know.
I don't know what's happening right now in
Big
Dallas.
fat zero. And well, Jerry got talked into the Zeke deal, which was an awful deal.
Terrible.
I mean, that was terrible. As it's everybody. I mean, when I heard the numbers on that, I'm like, who are you bidding against, bro? Like
nobody.
Who was stealing Zeke at that number? Like, I mean, and it's paying a second contract.
And nobody was going to steal him because he was already under contract. He wasn't going anywhere. He had 2 years left on his deal, on his rookie deal, when they restructured that, man. I just never got it.
Yeah, doesn't make any sense to me. But, and getting back to what we talked about in the first part of the show, Anthony Auclair comes over to the Lightning. And I think this is as good a deal as you could possibly expect. I think it's a responsible deal in terms of what the Lightning gave up in a 3rd round pick next year. They get a 7th round pick back. And I think it's the type of player that they need for secondary scoring, a middle 6 forward, as Eric Erlinson called him last night. I think that's pretty good. He's 16 goals this year, 5 on the power play, so he can help you on the power play. But he just makes you a tougher team to play against, which is something I think the Lightning desperately need. I think it's a good deal. I think it can add some fire to this team. It can add a little bit of edge to this team. With Tanner Jeannot being hurt most of the year, trying to get him back. I think it's as good as you could have hoped for, and I think it could make a difference. And I think it's all about, they played a little bit better defensively recently, except last night. Last night was just a disaster. We heard Cooper talking about it early. It's embarrassing. It was inexcusable. But it's also, it's enlightening. I think you said it. It said when you see things like this, you just can't really envision a team making a run in the playoffs. And I get that. But knowing this team the way I know it, and I'm not trying to be a homer because I work for the Lightning, I've just seen it too many times. We've written off the Lightning at times in these last 7 to 8 years when they've gone through some slumps. And it's at your peril because they always seem to, when their back's against the wall, to play their best hockey. Now, there's going to come a day when that doesn't happen. Is this that day? Or, was Hetty too? Hetty didn't play great last night. Eric Chernak was god-awful last night. Stammer's been struggling. It's just, Kucherov is just driving this team. I mean, it is the Kucherov show. That's what it is. And, they need, but they're getting contributions from Hagel. They're getting contributions from Braden Point. This is a team that has great pedigree when it comes to, they've still got a championship core. And if Vasi can get back to being elite Vasi, then they got a shot. Got a shot. So I'm not giving up on the season. I think it's a great move for the Lightning. It's exactly what they need. And, we'll see what happens. They got the Flyers coming up. Tomorrow night is going to be great night. Dave Andreychuk and Brad Richards going into the Lightning Hall of Fame. All the entire 2004 team is back and is going to celebrate with them. Torts obviously will be here as well. So that should be a really, really fun night tonight at Emily Arena. Still tickets available if you want to go.
Man, I'm a big Brad Richards fan. He spent some time here in Dallas, and nothing.
Dude, man.
I had lots of chances to hang out with him and meet him, and he is a great dude, man.
Isn't he?
Love Brad Richards.
Yeah, when he was here as well, he'd come on my show all the time, and really, he notoriously would call me PJ every time. So great sense of humor. A really good dude. I hope to have him on next week. I wanted to get him on this week, but I said, let's, experience the week and then come on next week and tell me all about, how you give me some stories about what went down this weekend. So we probably won't get the good stuff, but we'll get some stuff.
We'll get the PJ Peterson show going on.
We'll get Brad if he doesn't call me PJ, I'll be upset. I'll be very upset. I have a signed picture from him.
PJ.
to PJ.
That's Brad. Yeah, no, that's Brad.
Right?
That's Brad.
That's quintessential Brad right there. No question about it. All right, so Baker Mayfield still has not signed as of now. We talked a little bit about that in the beginning of the show. I would not be, I wouldn't be worried about that. By the way, Jane Geddes, who we had on the show, is neighbors with Jason. So, she hasn't heard of people. Yeah, they're good friends and neighbors. So she's like, I haven't seen Jason lately. He's been working a lot.
You think?
Yes, he has. Yes, he has been working a lot. So,
by the way, JP, I don't know if you saw the SEC quarterback rankings came out ahead of spring practice. Graham Mertz at Florida, number 8 in the SEC.
Number 8?
He's number 8. Would you like to know who's ahead of him?
Yes, I would.
Jackson Arnold from Oklahoma at number 7. I disagree with that. Connor Weigman from Texas A&M at number 6, which I agree. Connor's a good man. He's probably better than Graham. Brady Cook from Missouri at number 5. I disagree that he's better. Jackson Dart from Ole Miss. Quinn Ewers from Texas. Carson Beck from Georgia. And, of course, he's not a good quarterback. I don't know why he's even on this list in the top 10. Jalen Milroe from Alabama is your number 1 quarterback in the SEC.
I tell you what, we've talked about this, but he's a good player. But
he's a good player.
He's not the number 1 quarterback. How does Graham Mertz 8th?
He's not, dude. He's
That's
top
so
3. He's top 3, right?
Yes, 73% completion rate.
Yeah.
What was this? See if you can find his touchdown to interception was like, I don't know, off the top of my head was like what, 27-3 or some ridiculous thing. He was fantastic.
Yeah, he threw 20 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Yeah, 20. That's all he threw. 20. Seemed like
2,903 yards.
I mean, that's that's pretty damn good.
That's
not
great.
not making a lot of mistakes right there.
Great. He's
Right,
way better than number 8. Come on. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's all going to get blown up anyway when the freshmen come in. But the SEC is now back to being wide ass open. I mean, good luck to Kalen DeBoer. I think he'll do well at Alabama, but those days are over. The Alabama dominating the SEC, those days are over. I mean, they're heading for some 4-loss seasons. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Welcome back to reality. Welcome back to the real world. Look how their roster has been decimated by Mike Norvell, who was going to be their coach. I don't know. Do you remember that whole thing?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
And, because I have some people that I know that are very close to Mike Norvell, and they told me, in text messages, I said, how close was it? And it was like, it was really, really close, like scary close. And I put that out on Twitter, and the Alabama people came after me like, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, 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 blah. You're crazy. We never wanted your coach. You think that we would hire a Florida State coach, blah, blah.
Yeah, I do think that.
And then it comes, and now ESPN writes it, and of course, that yes, it was very close. So now it's actually public record. Same thing we reported 2 months ago. It was really close, and that's no knock on Mike Norvell, for God's sakes. I mean, he's at a school right now that is obviously a great job, but doesn't know what conference they're going to be in 2 years. And you could go to SEC, the number 1 conference and the elite program, and but the fact that he turned them down is actually the news, right?
Yeah.
That's the news. That's shocking. And if you're an FSU fan, you got to be just over the moon that he's staying. So, yeah, I'm glad that he's staying. And then he raids the Alabama roster like he did. And I know Corey Long wants to tell me those are a bunch of bums. They didn't want him anyway.
That's not true at all.
So, I mean, I know they're not maybe their top line guys, but they got some really good players from Alabama. And Alabama lost a lot of players. It's just, that's facts. It's facts. So they're in for a rude awakening. And I don't think Jalen Milroe is going to have a great year.
No, and he's not the kind of quarterback that can carry his team.
Right.
He has to have the team around him to be successful. He's got to have a great line. And man, I think they're in for a rude awakening this year. Not to say they won't still win, 10 games, but I think it's going to be ugly.
By Alabama standards, yes. It's going to be ugly. All right. Great job, Timmy. Appreciate you. Thanks to Jane Geddes for stopping by. John Bernard, our director of golf out here at Feather Sound. And of course, Ward Clayton joined us as well.
Yes.
Thank you guys for watching and listening. We had huge numbers this week. We thank you all for jumping aboard. Come on out here to the Aramco Team Series event all weekend long. It's Women's Day. Women, girls, all get in free here today. So come on down, get your tickets, get your hospitality, and watch some of the greatest players in the world and the amateurs throwing up on themselves too. That's fun to watch.
It is.
It's all entertainment, folks. Have a great weekend. Mike Evans heading to the podium here in a matter of minutes. Go to Buccaneers.com to check that out. And we'll see you Monday. Told you, should have bought it.